What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm here today to give a few predictions about PSX 2017. So we've done this a couple of years. Actually, we did this last year, and I think it was Tyler and I, and we gave our predictions of what we expected at PSX. And, I don't think we were expecting The Last of Us Part 2, that's for sure. This year looks like it's going to be really, really good overall, and I'm very, very excited to see what Sony can do and what PlayStation can do overall at this PlayStation experience. So I'm going to run through a quick couple things, and make sure that you stay tuned on the channel, because when PSX is over, we will have videos discussing what was shown. Maybe individual videos based on whatever happens. We won't know until it actually happens, though. So my first prediction is release dates. I think we're going to get a ton of release dates at this PSX. E3 was talking about really what's to come for the first half of 2018 for PlayStation. And I thought that was really, really awesome. Paris Games Week even showed a little bit more of that stuff. Obviously, we got to see new Sucker Punch game and a little bit more of all the games we've already seen. But what we don't have yet is release dates for any of these big games. So here's what we got. We got exclusive to the PS4. We have Shadow of the Colossus, which does have a release date on February 6th. We have God of War, we have Spider-Man, we have Days Gone, and we have Detroit Become Human. Now, those are some massive games, and I expect to see a release date for all four of them, actually. I expect to see final trailers for them all, and I expect to see release dates. Now, we got, a rumor, I think today that I was recording this, or even yesterday, that there's been a leak that God of War could possibly come out March 22nd. Now, that makes a ton of sense. Tyler has been saying March for a very long time, ever since E3. I've been saying March as well, and I believe March 22nd is 15 years after the original God of War came out. So the date does hold some meaning. So I think that's all but guaranteed. I think late March makes a lot of sense for God of War, and so that's when I think that'll be. The interesting and cool thing that they have is a problem, really, is that they have 3 more massive games. Now, Shadow of the Colossus comes out early February, February 6th. One other one is Ni no Kuni 2, which is also exclusive to PS4, which comes out January 19th. So what I'm wondering is, where does Spider-Man, Detroit, and Days Gone fit in? Well, I think they would go the once-a-month thing, and I don't know if they would necessarily want to put anything with Ni no Kuni in January. Now, we know Days Gone was probably supposed to come out in late 2017, but had it kind of internally been pushed because they weren't ready yet, which is fine. Take as much time as you want. The question is, I do feel, I think Tyler said it, Spider-Man is May. I feel like that's very possible, and Detroit would probably come out in April. Now, that also seems about right. So you'd have Ni no Kuni, Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man. That's insane. It's very possible that Spider-Man or Days Gone would be early June, right before E3. So that's where I think the last game is going to go. But in this PlayStation experience, I do expect to see release dates for all of these major games. I expect to see a gameplay of The Last of Us Part 2. I want to see actual gameplay. We've seen so far 2 trailers. They've been amazing. They've really shown where the engine of Naughty Dog and what Last of Us looks like now on a PS4, built for the PS4. And, it obviously was amazing seeing it last year, and it was amazing seeing the trailer that we just saw really a couple months ago. And so, it's about time we see some gameplay. We saw gameplay of The Last of Us, the first game, rather soon after we saw the original trailer that came out. And while I don't believe The Last of Us Part 2 is this year, and I know I've seen some YouTube channels putting it in like most anticipated for 2018, it's not coming out in 2018. It's just flat out not. It'll come out in the spring of 2019. It'll probably come out May-ish of 2019, or June. The first Last of Us came out in June. So I do feel like that's going to happen. So I think we'll get gameplay, though. I think it's about time that we actually see what the game looks like, how it plays, because we're only going to see it a couple more times after this before it actually comes out, even though it's a little bit away. I also expect to see gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima, the newest game from Sucker Punch, I think. Again, it's about time that we see, I think it was about time we saw what they were actually working on, considering it's been forever that they've really talked about it. I really liked the trailer, and at the very end of the trailer, we did get to see a little snippet of gameplay, but it was very, very little. I want to see an actual, scenario. Give us a mission, give us a side mission, show us what the game looks like. I think we'll see it. In fact, because they said that it'll be there, I do want to see what it looks like, how it plays, because I feel like that game could be a dark horse to come out like in the fall of 2018, possibly also in 2019, along with a little game called Death Stranding. Now, Death Stranding, I think, is a 2019 game too, but we've yet to see more than just crazy, insane trailers from Hideo Kojima. Now, this all lines up pretty darn well. See, last year, the Game Awards and PSX, I believe, were on the same day. And this year, they are not. In fact, they're a day apart. The Game Awards is on the Thursday, PlayStation Experience is on Friday, and I'm pretty sure I read that Hideo Kojima will be at PlayStation Experience. Now, this lines up perfectly. We know that Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima have like some sort of weird crush on each other, especially Jeff Keighley, so you expect that to be there, but what are we going to see at the Game Awards from Death Stranding? And are they going to show just another trailer? And then will Hideo Kojima come up on stage at PSX and say, here's gameplay, here's our first gameplay? Because we've yet to see how the game actually plays. What the hell is the game actually about anyway? But how does it control? What does it look like when you're actually in the game? I think we'll see it. I think it's about time. We know he's been doing it. We know he's been making it for over 2 years. So it's about time we start to see like what it actually plays like. And in terms of new things, so, we're obviously going to get, I think we're going to get a new announcement or two. I think one thing that's all but certain is Bloodborne 2. I feel like Bloodborne 2 has been in the works for quite some time. I think Bloodborne 2 could have been announced at E3, but wasn't, and I think we'll definitely see it at PSX 2017. It just makes sense. Bloodborne 1 was a really, really big success. It was different than Dark Souls, and I actually played Bloodborne. I don't play Dark Souls. I quite enjoyed it. It's very hard, but, just the way it plays and aesthetically, it's very different than Dark Souls, and it's sold extremely well, and I think they would be pretty stupid to not kind of make it a series, and so I definitely think we're going to be seeing Bloodborne 2 finally, and I don't know if we'll get a release date or anything, but I'm sure we'll see it. Other than that, those are really the only ones I'm certain. I mean, I kind of had other things floating around. I do think Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is closer than some people think. I think I don't think we're going to see it at PSX. I think we may see that at E3, but I definitely do think Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is like in the pipeline, not as far off as people may think. Maybe we get a release date for Dreams. Maybe we see Dreams again. I'd like to. I've always had hope that Dreams can actually become something, and I think it very well could. I really am holding out hope for that. And, last year we had some surprises. Like I said, The Last of Us Part 2 was announced. Ni no Kuni 2 was announced, and it was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and now, like I said, it's coming out next month. So I'm sure we may get, one or two random things we're not even thinking of, exclusives or coming firsts or whatever. Maybe Red Dead 2 shows up on stage. We know that PlayStation and Rockstar have a relationship together. There's exclusive DLC, or the DLC coming first or whatever, for Red Dead 2 on the PS4. So we know they have that relationship, and it wouldn't be the first time that a Rockstar property appeared on a Sony stage. So I think that's possible. I also think it's possible a Rocksteady thing could be announced. We don't know. Are they working on the Justice League game? Are they working on a Superman game? What about the studio that could be doing Batman Arkham Insurgency? Those are all possible things. It's not E3. I would not expect as many announcements, but I think there's room for one or two kind of out of left field, just things that really surprise us and say, yes, like that's awesome that they even thought about this, along with just confirmation that yes, here's the big 4 games: God of War, Detroit, Days Gone, and Spider-Man. Here's the release dates for all 4 of them, added on with Ni no Kuni and with Shadow of the Colossus, and they're all coming out in the first 6 months. And hey, maybe Ghost of Tsushima comes out in the fall. We don't know. I think that makes Sony really, really look good. I think that makes PlayStation really look good, and can really have an amazing first 6 months for 2018. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my predictions. What do you expect to see at PSX 2017? Like I said, if we get like a new announcement or something big, we'll have videos separate for them. And so we'll definitely be covering PSX once it's over, depending on whatever they show. But again, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Like and share the video, and I will see you guys on the next video.